A city's creative identity is shaped by its artists, craftspeople, and designers, who also have an important role to play. They continue our age-old urge to create and to make things by hand. And in an age of mass production, work made by hand may be more important than ever. My name is John Baker. My wife Julie and I own a design store and exhibition space in Toronto. We believe that well-designed, beautifully crafted items have the power to enhance our everyday lives. In this series, I'm going to meet some of the people whose handcrafted production is shaping this city of makers. Brian Vu is an artist and designer who produces textiles and clothing, which he sells through his recently opened store in Toronto's Junction neighborhood. Brian uses vintage military clothing known as dead stock, which he reworks and modifies. He also has a clothing line of his own designs. A major element of Brian's work is his use of the ancient dye indigo. I went along to Brian's store to find out more about his work and the indigo process.
So what is indigo?
Indigo is a dye that derived from a plant, and it's very rich blue.
How do you start the dyeing process? Like you have vat set up in the basement?
The vat's set up in the basement or in my backyard. So you mix it in with water, and the vat will form what's called flowering. And then you dip the textile into the vat.
So it doesn't start off blue. What does it start as?
It's green, slowly it becomes blue.
And I don't think anyone has a clue how much effort you go to getting these rich dyes.
You're absolutely right about that. I love the richness of the blue. So the more that you dip, the darker the shade of blue becomes.
And I like it because it's made here in this studio. It's dyed, so people can like come in the store. They could also, if they just peek out in the back, they can see,
absolutely
the things
yeah,
waiting to be re-dyed.
It's pretty much an open window for anyone that comes into my shop. They can see me work in the backyard or downstairs in the basement.
What's your fascination with military clothing?
I was always into military, the look of it, the functionality of it, the strength.
Do you think, in a way, I mean, you were born in Vietnam.
Yes.
And there's a photo of you as a 3-year-old, and your father, I think he has his army uniform.
Yes, he was.
On?
He was in the military during the Vietnam War time, and it's ironic how my dad wanted to escape the military or Vietnam because of the war and all that, and here I am, wanting to embrace it. It's opposite polar with me and my father.
What does your father think about?
He was against it, to be honest. But now that he sees the store, what I'm doing, the studio, he is very happy that I'm very passionate regarding what I do.
So we're here in your beautiful shop. Can you explain a little bit about your concept behind it?
I try to surround myself with image or with product that I could be proud of or I want to be around, and so that's what I try to do here.
Having the African and the native, this is kind of your inspiration in a way.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. They are a mixture of local artists and vintage artifacts. I'm very inspired by the artistry of African textile, and I try to imply that with my own.
Yeah. All of these things are representations of who you are, what you like. Is it, in a way, a bit intimidating putting yourself out there?
Of course, as any artist or as anyone that's making use of their hand as a product, you don't know if people will like it or people will connect with it, and so you're wearing your passion, you're wearing your idea to the public, and what if no one understands me or no one cares? And that's one of the most daunting as an artist feeling.
Do you think that there's something about the city, being in Toronto, that lends itself to, is it an environment that's supportive of craft and creativity?
I believe it's improved quite a bit over the last couple of years, especially. People are more excited to do things that they love with their hands. And then other people are noticing that, and so if you do anything with care and with passion, it shows in its product, whether it's food, clothing.
So what are you working on right now?
For the winter in Canada, as you know.
It's a cold place.
It's a cold place, so we gotta stay warm. So the project that I'm doing right now is a jean jacket with a vintage deadstock wool lining.
Yeah. It's Canadian blankets?
Yes, it's a Canadian blanket, 100% wool.
So are all the blankets different?
They will be different, yes.
So what do you think the value is to having something handmade as opposed to something that's mass produced?
Well, I believe anything that's handmade, first of all, it's more human. It's made with care. It's made with some sort of passion involved. But ideally, you're using your hands, so it's not going to be perfect. The imperfection is perfect, I think.
And in a way, it's a bit of more freedom. You're involved with every step of the production.
We care every stitch that goes, every cut. So the work, it's closer and more personal.
Do you think there's a bit of a disconnect between how people can buy products today?
Well, yeah, absolutely. If you buy a product that's cheaply made and it's made in mass consumption, it breaks down quick. And I guess in general, people are happy with that in one sense, but in another sense, once they know someone's making this, they kind of know that person's personality and the way they are, and so there's a sense of joy where everything's very local and very personal.
And what's your personality?
What's my personality? I try to be a straightforward, passionate person as much as I can. I mean, life, I feel like we all have obstacles, but the main thing is we should hopefully be truthful to many people that we meet, and hopefully they connect with you.